Hey, it's Cracker36, and we are shifting gears. There's a bit of a problem with the AAA once in a while. I'm not sure what it is. If I had to guess, I would say it's version. There's different versions. They're constantly updating this to fix bugs and also expand options. And so sometimes this doesn't work. It'll actually give a coding error. And so, but today it is. But what I did was I figured out that I needed to do this. I needed to just do one at a time. So we're going to slow down a little bit, and that's okay. So you could ask yourself at this point in time what you would do with the situation at hand, where you're in a championship game for 2022. You're playing my game and you're Arthur Bomber Harris, or you're Myygames. And what are you going to do with America having plenty of ground troops off the East Coast, somewhat sizable Navy off of 91, an Air Force, a healthy British Navy in 93 and Med, as well as, Egypt at this point in time, of course, if you were to consider this the possibility of invading Egypt, it would probably be a 3 to 4 turn prospect. And at that point in time, you're talking a lot of resources. So pretty much up and even there. So maybe even 5 turns away from capturing Egypt if you put everything into it. And that's even doubtful with all the aircraft and all the units around. India even looks impregnable with your modest ground forces and your modest transport fleet. 8 units coming on transports in 2 turns. Some reinforcements coming this way. 1, 2, 3 right away. Could easily make it 4. Could easily make it before you do, plus 2 more. So, and you've made scant advance in Asia. So, as the Axis player, what would with Russia, with a knife at the throat, and because of those 3 transports and 2 more down here, the knife at your throat. All those navies are, powerful, but the real knife at the throat there, as much as I preach that you should have lots of pointy things, the real threat is the economic threat of the transports. And the real battle, I think, if I picked out a zone, would be for Java or Celebes. You could say that the battle is also for Philippines. The Philippines is in their power zone. They can reach it from Japan. Now, do check out Japan. This is you can tell he's, a little on the desperate side because he has almost 0 troops in Japan. That is asking for trouble, right? That's convoying sub in Philippines. Sweet. So, what would you do if you were, and of course the big matchup here, always on the Eastern Front, Archangel still being held, what would you do? Let's find out what the Germans do. You buy 10 mech, 3 artillery, and 3 infantry. Nuts. Alright, let's see if maybe I can get that back. Don't know if this is going to work. Okay. As much as possible, you see all these moves, and as much as possible, obviously my point has been to try and you take out Archangel to try to figure out what move would I not make, right? That's the interesting thing to me. What move would I not make? What move would I... So he's going to move everything into Smolensk, is that right? He's going to bomb. He's going to raid. Germans come in. I don't like his defense move here. I think I would defend. Taking down one of those bombers, you are just as likely. Every one of those is throwing at one. And I think the numbers are in his favor as far as the total ground units in the neighborhood. 16, 47, 57, 63, 66, 67, 68, 69, 80, 81. He's got 33, 43, 47, 48. So I would have scrambled in this situation because I like to. One of these would take down a fighter, and I know these defended a 4, but I would take this as a 3, and I would take this as a 3, defending at a 4. I think he'd probably have to take a bomber actually, because this is such a strong. No. This he would take this and this, right? But then if you got more than one, you would get into his bombers. So I like scrambling in that situation myself, but you know, I'm not championship level. He also has tons of resources down here. 1, 2, 3 fighters. I don't think there's a fear of attack next turn. I don't think he's going to sidle up next to. Maybe he is going to Bryansk. Battle in Ukraine. I don't think this works. Nope, this does not work. So I gotta plink it along. Alright, I'm gonna skip the battles because that's too tedious. I'm assuming he wins them. Russians win. Nice. Okay. Let's see what he does. So he does bring everything to Bryansk. Everything forward to Novgorod. We understand that. That's pretty clear. Brings his fighters back there. Brings them back to 112. Alright, and then he can place in Novgorod 3 artillery. Interesting. So artillery build here does not make it to Moscow for another 3 rounds. So normally speaking, I would think you would build 3 mech so that you could get into the battle in 2 rounds, because your timer, this is your kitchen timer right here, is going off, and your time is wearing down. So if you desperately need the pips that much, I don't know, 3 rounds is a long time. And then 2 and a mech here. So I really do think 3 mech should have gone here, but these mech, 1, so these mechs go 1, and they also would be 3 rounds. So he's anticipating a 3 round from now battle. It's like dog years. Alright, he makes 61 bucks, which is, of course, decent money. Now, I'm going to show you the secret sauce here. So I'm going to go in here. This is Germany 5. I'm going to get out of that. Let's go over to the Russians, see what the Russians do. So what would you anticipate that the Russians do is sort of a question I would have for you at this point in time. Obviously, the question is, do you attack? Obviously, the answer is no. Especially for a person who did not scramble the 3 fighters. He's not going to attack. Of course, he doesn't have a lot of 2s. He has a significant amount of 2s, but not a lot of 2s. I'm going to get out of this one right here so we don't get confused. No. go. And down here, let's go for Russia, see what happens. I mean, I assume that it'll be mostly building in Moscow and sort of setting path. I also assume he's going to go into Manchuria or Korea. Let's see what happens. Purchased, I assume, 12 units. Whoa! Whoa! He is feeling confident. All right. Ran the battle calcs, and it turned out well for him. That move is a defensive. We got to come up with a name for this. This is a strong defensive platform right here. Toehold or whatever. Ground. But almost zero chance. Let's look. 10, 30, 52, 52 and 7, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62. 62 with 12 damage on the factory. I'm sure he repairs 8 damage on the factory, leaving 4. So he's going to buy 6 units. So, okay, so he buys it so that he can maintain the air defense of the capital, since Myygames has no other fighter escorts in the area. Okay, so we could say that was a strategic error, but he needed them for the 3-plane scramble, right? So he is looking to get one up on Myygames for the raiding of Moscow. That's it right there. Okay, so we assume this is about 57, 30, 50, 57, 58, 59, 60. So he's got 47, 57, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, plus 5, 77, plus the plane, 78. So 0 chance of this guy winning this. And even this move is going to pop him 10 more. So these 10, which shoot at 1, are going to be matched by a build of 10 next turn. Alright, he goes in Manchuria, and we're just going to skip down. No, we're not going to skip down. Combat moves. Okay, Manchuria, and Korea, and Smolensk, and Rostov. Nice pick. And fighter, I'm interested if he puts a blocker in Tambov. Let's see. Fighter. And a fighter into Hunan. Interesting. Wow, so he's going to be doing some numbers. Battle calc on that. You don't eyeball that and say, I need 1 mech and 1 fighter for this battle. So pretty obviously he's looking seriously at the battle calc. And 1 mech here. Alright. He must be going down to here in order to get 3 and 6 more dollars. So as he's looking at the turn, 1, 2, at the turn that he is being invaded, he might be making 6 more dollars. And if he's not invaded, he'll make it to $6 and just start to pull away. So Rostov is a victory with no casualties. And then here, everything goes back to Moscow. Everything goes to Korea except for the Manchurian force, and retreat back to the southern front. Alright, and he's got a 4. Okay, so he had a plane out of the Middle East came back too, so there's no way that bombing raid's going to happen again. Place of the fighter. And let's just do a number count again because it looks just too glorious to not count that. I want to know how much money he's got. Lost 0 to blockade. It's nice. Doesn't get the bonus. Ends with 32 plus spread of communism 35. Okay, let me check this edit out. Sorry, guys. Removing one from Egypt. Adding one to Northwest Persia. No kidding. He turned him around. He turned him around. Huh. No kidding. Alright. Not sure why he did that, but good money. $35. Great money. It's 15 minutes in. I think I will probably... Alright, let's go back and let's see if we can get Japan real quick. Japan, I assume, is not going to be real complicated. Alright, we're going to do Japan 5. Let's X out of this. Here he comes. Alright, aiming to finish this up in 3 minutes. So I will say that, and someone did note in my last thread read that playing on real-time games has the disadvantage of no battle calculator. So let's see what Japan does. So again, what would you do if you were here? Just go down here. Lots of battles. Lots of battles. Okay, I'm not going to go into every one of these battles because I do want to wrap this up at 20. Let's go check it out and see what you would do if you were Japan. Okay, so here's the situation. They've moved in. Would you take Manchuria back? Obviously, you do want to try to get Suyuan, Hopine, Anhui, maybe. I don't know. Obviously, they're all lost causes. Every one of those is outnumbered and can be picked at pretty thoroughly. I suppose Hopine might be the one that is the most vulnerable. This is vulnerable to counterattack. This is obviously vulnerable to counterattack. So maybe Anhui is the safe one. I would not do the Hunan attack. I would do just a skirmish. I would do the Yunnan attack. Not thinking about it too much. I think I would advance my troops to Siam and put pin these troops here. In addition to that, you'd be threatening maybe Western Australia or something. But it's not much of a threat, really. This is more protective, honestly, to do the skirmish battles in Java and Celebes. I personally think Japan's screwed. Alright, let's go. Let's see what he bought. Okay, so he does buy 2 for Navy, 2 for Air, and 1. I bet you this is going into French Indochina, is where I'm thinking this is going. Okay. Okay, he's considering it. Is he really going to do it? He is going to do it. He has got to be thinking he's got to. Wow. Oh, wow. This is, I dare say this is reeks of desperation. This is a calculated move by Autobomber Harris. And chance of success, pretty low, I would think. The kind of success you're looking for, you know. Okay, so the battle is going to be, the battle in Manchuria is 1 casualty. The battle in, let's just widen this a little bit. Okay, the battle in Hunan. Okay, there are lots of forces going in. Okay. That's a loss's first turn. Holy smokes. Disaster. So 11 infantry. Golly, knew that was a bad battle. So 11 infantry costs him 2, 3, 4, 9. You cannot sustain that, not with the production on the coast. And this is all low luck, so he knows this ahead of time. The only difference is one, a second round. All of the Chinese forces are lost, and he loses 5 more planes. The game is over. Oh my goodness, he's not going to continue, is he? He is going to continue. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Okay, oh my goodness. I mean, this was not low luck. I would say, you know, he's got a 55% chance of, he's got a 10% chance of really getting lucky. He's got a 10% chance of really getting unlucky. But to do low luck and do that battle, he knew ahead of time what he was going to suffer. I do not understand that. I will have to ask him why he did that. So that one was an even battle in Yunnan, and then in Shan State loses, and then Anhui gets lucky there. Okay, so let's do everything. I'm assuming he's gonna. This is to position himself so he can reach back to season 6. This is a retreat in some way, shape, and form. It's a threat. He's still strong, but it's also a retreat. He's trying to make it so they don't take back Philippines. That's a $7 difference, and that is way too much to lose. There's some editing going on. Let's just see where this ends up. So there is wow. He doesn't even take Hunan. Wow. Yunnan is possessed, so he loses $6. So he did successfully destroy the Chinese force. And his ground game looks better than it has in a long time. The problem is that he's got 17 Russians in his backfield, about to be supported by the Americans. India is nowhere close to being defeated, and China can spawn troops in the middle of, even with Yunnan held for 2 turns, $12 loss. China can still. He's nowhere near owning half of China, so at least not counting the coast they began with. All right, he did buy some replacement fighters ahead of time. He knew it was coming, and he does place an infringement into China. This will, I've seen this become a ridiculously strong base, even with a very poor China, even losing all of Asia because China can't go in here. This can be just a powerhouse position for the Japanese. and he does collect $57. So still strong economically, even after having lost a massive portion of his. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm surprised, and my video is longer than it was because of my surprise. Japan definitely on the ropes, but he dealt China a severe blow at a great cost. All right, that is Croc 36's review of the Big Axis Turn 5 in the championship game for 2022.